coming. Lots of build up. Yep, this is Synth Riders. So we're going to take another look at a rhythm game, a music rhythm game that might not be that big old rhythm game that took the VR world by storm. So if you're looking for an alternative, or maybe you've mastered that or are looking for something along the same lines, but not wanting to take a chance on something that's untested, well, we're going to take a look at Synth Riders today. As you probably guessed by the little intro theme there and the sounds that you're hearing, this is kind of an 80s themed music game. It's not all 80s all the time, but it's very heavily inspired. If not, gosh darn it, that could have been a song from the 80s. So I will keep this kind of short in both regards to gameplay in the video itself, just for the simple fact that a lot of this music is probably going to be copyrighted, and I don't want a whole bunch of claims and strikes against me. So I don't think there's a way to get around that completely with a game like this, but you know, it's worth taking a look at and seeing the different features, if nothing else, especially since it's a rhythm game. You kind of know what you're getting into. But first and foremost, I love the idea of this interactive menu. Like, interactive menus are my jam. I love them. This one looks great, but you can't move around. There's so many things I want to go in and look and pick up, and how they got away with an actual Space Invaders cabinet in here, I have no idea. You can't play it, at least not out of the box. Maybe there's some way to unlock it or whatever, but this is a really cool looking environment. Playlist here apparently is still coming soon. How to play, so we're going to take a look at this. That's just kind of the interface there, your combos, your multiplier, combo multiplier, time left, score, all that good stuff. So there's regular, where you just kind of hit the nodes. You're gonna have your pink and your blue. So pink is right and blue is left. Green is going to be with either hand, and orange is with both hands. So you also have the option to go for speed and then also precision when you're punching. So this is basically a way to add more variety and variation in the scoring, because that way two people who maybe hit every single note, they're not going to come out the same. So you can just kind of hold your targets in place and let the notes, if you will, come and hit you, but you actually get more points or more interactions. So they encourage you to do that, which I kind of like. That's a good idea. Another thing that I think is huge, for me personally, you might not care as much, but I have slight issues with colors in general, like in life. I have a hard time distinguishing between certain colors depending on how close they are to each other, generally like blues and greens or reds and oranges. Unless I have two side by side, it's hard for me to tell. Now, you don't care about that personally, more than likely, but this is something that's missing in probably, I think, every music rhythm game should have this, and you can adjust every single color. So here was your, I think it was your, left hand, right hand, both hands, and then, I'm sorry, both hands, one hand special, whatever. But you can go through here and adjust these colors to your heart's desire, which, again, for somebody who has as far as everything concerned, a mild vision impairment, this is pretty huge. If you're colorblind, obviously that's going to help you, or maybe you just want to customize it to look the way you want it to look. By golly, you have that option as well. So I think that's great. More games should offer this in general, but especially these types of music rhythm games. Of course, you can set your height and all that stuff, different variations to make it harder or easier. Aside from the color changing thing, which again might not be a big deal for most people, the soundtrack to this game is great if you like the 80s or 80s themed things. So again, this is kind of, that's your normal That's where you get the extra points for punching. Challenge, I have not tried, but I imagine that's probably something score related. I love the effects of this menu. Got some cheesy 80 stuff going on right there. We'll just go ahead and do normal. So, I'm not sure how much of this you can hear. I'll try not to sit too long on a song just for the whole copyright issue, like I mentioned. Like I said, you kind of get the feel. 21 tracks out of the out of the box. Let's go this way. So kind of a newer techno mix, but with 80s sound effects. And then there's just straight up like 80s hairband rock, which we'll get to some of that. Like this one in particular. So I'll go through this song just because I think it's probably like the main song, or at least in their previews and stuff. Yeah, this is totally like Karate Kid soundtrack type stuff. I'll try it on normal. I'll probably fail. It is kind of tough at first. You do a lot of reaching in different spaces very quickly. So we'll see how this goes. Go ahead and do this. Synth Riders. You got your bulbs here, globes. Whoop. I'm just holding these out. Obviously the punching mode would be a lot more involved with all these notes. Missed. So there you go. I did much better on that on medium than I thought I would, or normal, or whatever that was. Awesome. But yeah, that's basically what you saw there is what this game is. Obviously, different songs. You got your score, you got your leaderboards, which is really nice, especially since it separates by platform. Really nice touch. And of course, you got your personal where you fall on the list. I don't think there's a lot of people playing this. I said it because there's a few songs I've done on just either easy or medium where I was literally in the top 5 or in the top 10 with only 6 people on there, which, you know what, I'm going to say is kind of a shame because of the other rhythm games that I've tried. This is probably my most favorite that is not the one that shall not be named. So, and that could just because I was a kid in the 80s. It could be, I kind of like the interface where they give you the different options of either punching or just kind of holding still. Uh, the color thing is huge for me. And the only thing that I think is missing would maybe, and I understand why it's not in there, but a way for custom songs. That's really the only thing I think that I would like to see added to this. And who knows, maybe there's a way to mod them in, just like with that other game. But at least out of the box, there's no way to do it. And maybe that's what this playlist is. Maybe that's just these 21 songs in there. Obviously, if that's not going to come, then maybe some more DLC later down the line. But this is Synth Riders. Definitely worth taking a look if you're looking for some variety or variation in your music rhythm games in VR.